Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Women Empowerment Program, being organized and sponsored by the Rule of Law and Empowerment Initiative, also known as Partners West Africa Nigeria P1. My name is Nkem Okereke, your host for the show with my co-host Ijoma Igwe. There is this variation that when things are going badly, women are elevated to positions of leadership. When they rise to the top of the corporate ladder, they are placed in dangerous positions where they are likely to fail, thereby putting them at risk of falling. But then again, researchers have discovered in recent years that when an organization is under a crisis, women have a better probability of breaking through that ceiling. The question now is, what if they don't break through the ceiling? What happens? We'll be going in depth on that as we discuss the topic, Glass Cliff, the Facade of female empowerment. We will go on a short break now and then come back with our guest for this topic. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show. To discuss the topic with us here today is an advocate for gender equality and a leader of the Nigerian Women Trust Fund. She's passionate about community leadership with over 7 years of experience in project management, community development, and leadership. She is currently the special advisor to the Honourable Chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, on ICT and donor agencies, and the President Africa Young Female Advisors Initiative. Please welcome with us this morning, Mrs. Abiodun Essiet. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jim.
Welcome to the show, ma'am. We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Like the topic said, the glass cliff, the package for women empowerment. We would like to know what's your definition of the glass cliff.
Okay, like Ijoma has rightly said, it's all about the aspiration of women to the top leadership position that we hope women to be, and helping women get to the top leadership positions in life is what I refer to as a glass cliff.
Okay. Yes, but I have read something on the glass cliff, and like I said earlier, it is not just necessarily moving them up to the leadership position. It is moving them up to where they are likely to fail.
Yes.
Some companies that are undergoing crisis.
Yeah.
Yes, that are going through crisis. Yes.
Yeah, we've seen that in some cases whereby in different countries whereby there's a crisis in an organization, a woman is asked to take up leadership position to see how to help bring the organization back on track from the crisis. So it has been strategy of men. I could say that is a patriarchy in nature, in the sense that they feel, okay, since you've been asking or clamoring for a leadership position, now let's see how you can, let's try you, see how you can help solve these current challenges. We've seen that I noticed, or I read a research from one of the European countries where a woman was asked to be the finance officer when the country was having some economic challenges, and she was successful in the tax, and which shows how powerful women can be or how strategic they can be. But it shouldn't be only when a company or an organization is in crisis that women should be asked to take leadership position. Women should be free to aspire, and also aspire to become leader in any organization they find themselves, and they should be called upon anytime if they have the skills and the knowledge to effect the change the organization is looking for.
Yeah. So you mentioned one cause of this glass cliff, saying maybe it's because of the patriarchal system. And do you think there'll probably be another cause of this glass cliff? Do you think there's another thing that can cause it?
Okay, on the positive side, people believe that women triumph or women are successful when they're in difficult situations because we are multitasking in nature. We tend to know how to manage things. We'll be managing different things. Generally, economically, a lot of countries believe women are good finance managers. So you see them putting them in positions that has to do with money, that has to do with economy, that has to do with finance, because they feel women are better manager and they're trustworthy, and they can, bring about the change. Maybe that's the perception some country have or some organization have, that they usually call upon women when we're in crisis. Taking Nigeria, for instance, we had the Conjuela when we were in serious crisis, and she was able to clear off our debt from the World Bank. And, these are some of the things that is even promoting her now that she's the Director General of World Trade Zone. It shows that what she has done that time has made her to be recommended for a higher position to address other needs that we are facing.
So that is a positive angle you're looking at it from, that a woman is there because they always have a strategy to manage situations. Yes. So does it mean that women are always called, or does it mean that what happens is that women don't get involved until things get bad?
No, it's not actually that women don't get involved, so that we don't push it like it's only when we're in difficult situations that women get involved. Women have been involved. So if Okonjola wasn't in World Bank, she wouldn't have been called to come home as a minister, because she has been managing a leadership position at the World Bank, and she's, with her success story, she has been doing well in the World Bank. That's why she's been called upon. So women, you don't just call people on when they are not in the hierarchy. Leadership is hierarchy. Some people may be in a position before, being called upon. So you don't just call a junior staff and say, because you're in a crisis, then come to the leadership position. It's people who have already paid their price to acquire or be around the circle of leadership that are being called upon. So we've seen women really doing well. The women in business forum has really shown how successful women can be managing several businesses in this country. So we must regard that.
Okay. So yes, we are going to come again and discuss something on that, because it's still possible that the woman is being put in a strategic position in a company that is having issue and she still doesn't get it right.
Yeah,
we are still going to discuss that. But right now, do you think this glass clip has a way it affects empowerment of women?
Yeah, it makes the society have this perception that you only bring a woman on board when there's a crisis, and it's tend to really affect. Okay, why shouldn't they be in leadership from the word go when things are normal? But it can generate a kind of perception from general society if there's no depth analysis of this glass clip for people to understand the need for to respect women's knowledge and potentials, and also regard them as leaders if they deserve to be in any areas or in any platform they find themselves.
Okay. So you are saying it is actually a good way of empowerment of women, but then women don't just get empowered because of the fact that we wait for things to get bad before women are being involved. Yes. But then again, if a woman falls, I'm trying to understand so that my viewers will understand better. If the woman fails, do you think it will hinder women from being taken to that position? Do you think if I am being appointed now to manage a situation or to manage a company that is going to go in crisis and I fail, what could be the fate of other women in that same company?
Okay, thank you so much. It's, one of the challenges you're trying to analyze is because we have low percentage of women in leadership position. If women have been occupying leadership position, then you see several of them managing and you see several success stories. But because we have fewer women managing leadership positions, so when there's a glass clip and the woman mismanaged that position, the news spreads widely because we don't have enough women in leadership position at that platform. So it's for people to also, and women's group especially, to also see how they can also change the narrative of any story. We have to support and protect women in leadership. Let's analyze what has been done. Let's analyze how the woman got in power. Let's analyze what the organization was going through, and also, applaud the woman for what she has done. If there was any man there, they wouldn't have, seen that if it was a man that made that mistake, you wouldn't have had the news, because men are everywhere. Because this is a patriarchal society, all the positions are being held by men. So now that you have a woman, she messes up. Men have been messing up. Men have been mismanaging funds. So let's talk about that. And not, and praise the woman who tried to take leadership position in a difficult time. So it's for us to change the narrative, just the way we've been talking about gender-based violence. People talk about the victim, what she was wearing, but let's change the narrative to the circumstances of the perpetrator itself. So women should learn to change the narrative of whatever situation we find ourselves, so that the public can also take leadership of whatever is going on, or take responsibility for whatever is going on. And the way to do that is through media, helping to sensitize people on how to change the narrative about whatever situation a woman finds themselves. Let's analyze it again. Let's see what was the position of the organization before coming. You now see that when you start analyzing, people will now find the reason for praising the woman for even taking the leadership position, and also show examples of men that even shied off from the leadership position based on that crisis. So it's just for us to see how we negotiate and talk about whatever position has been affected. But the general society really doesn't accept any woman in leadership, and that's why they see women occupying leadership at a difficult time as a big deal, and they are always putting their eyeglasses or their frames to really see deep what she's going to do and how she's going to manage
the
it.
bottom line is, let more women get involved.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying this conversation so far, but we will have to go on a short break now and then come back to continue this wonderful discussion on the glass cliff facade of female empowerment. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show. We've been discussing our topic for today, Glass Cliff, the Facade of Women Empowerment, with our guest, Ms. Abiodun Essiet. So, Ma, we'll go on with our question we have for you. Being a special advisor for a while now, we'd like to find out from you. Have you found yourself in such situation like what we've been discussing today? And what has been your experience so far?
Okay, when I say not directly or not in the same exact position, but during the COVID-19 era, an economic recovery team was set up by the executive chairman, and I was part of the committee with another woman. So we're two only in that committee, to see how we can rechannel the economic of the council back on track, and see how we can learn from the COVID-19 pandemic to address some of the pending issues we're having concerning our economic development plans. So
okay. So did you face any issue? What was your experience?
It was really empowering for me, because for a special advisor to be in that kind of platform to channel the economic situation of the council back on track, I feel empowered through that process, and I was able to use my skills, knowledge, despite the fact that my specialty is not in finance, but I was able to learn from research, from different learned colleagues in finance, to see how we can use our knowledge, experience with the revenue issues we have in the council, and build a new roadmap, economic roadmap for the council. So it was empowering for me.
And I would say it was a learning process.
Yes, it was actually a learning process as well.
Okay. So right now, I think I'm going to go to the next question I have for you. It was a learning process for you. It was an empowering point for you. You were able to see to do what is not your profession or your line of profession or something.
Yes.
Now, there are some women that have actually found themselves in such situation. Maybe a company is going through crisis, and maybe they are appointed to be one of the members of that are in the leadership position, and they are finding it hard to turn things around for good. They are finding it hard to also maintain that position, maybe because of how they met it or how terrible the situation is when they came into that position. what do you think you would advise for in such women that are in such situation?
Okay. For any woman that finds themselves in a difficult situation, you're not the only one. And don't overflog yourself. Thousands of men have found themselves in the same position and they've done terribly bad. And so even if you've done anything bad, or you're not the only one. But see how you can learn from the situation and bring out your best. And don't feel, because women generally, when you find yourself in a position of leadership, you feel, okay, you're the only one there, you want to do the best. So you put so much stress on yourself and less, attention on some of the other details that you need to focus on. So we don't have to do that, because you have more than the thousands of men going through the same situation you're facing. They didn't come out successfully well, and the society did not die, or nobody ever query them for that position. So we shouldn't query ourselves.
Because it's someone that puts that position like that.
Because it's someone that put the organization like that, and most especially it must be a man that made the organization to be like that. So even try your best. Don't overflog issues. Don't try and make yourself feel bad. Just try your best, and whatever you can do, let it be known. Come out well. Come out open to people. Okay, this situation or this circumstances is very difficult. I don't think I can manage it, and tell us the reason why. But we will embrace you, and we also wish you well wherever you go next. So take it as it is. It may be a learning process. Come out of it victorious.
So can you advise someone to walk away?
Yes.
Like the person wants to quit. Can you tell someone, or maybe encourage someone to walk away from such position, knowing how
you feel you don't have the skills to address a certain position? Why do you try to box yourself in that situation without if you don't have a way, ask somebody. You can ask, or do a research, or get a committee of people to help you out. You don't have to suffer in silence. And these are things that the men are good at. They will go and look for somebody and take the praises later. So let's use that access of men. Go and get the solution. But if you think you can't offer anything to help the situation, then come out of it.
Yeah.
But it's better you come out when you know that you don't have anything to offer. We'll still respect you. Well, because women, we find ourselves, we have scanty women. Women are in position of leadership are very scanty. So that's why when we see one, we try to see how we can overprotect them, make sure they don't face this, make sure they don't feel that, But that's just the reality we find ourselves. So we are praising you for the fact that you even got to that leadership position. So if you don't make things worse by trying to make an issue out, or trying to force yourself, or trying to find a solution when you don't have one. If you have done everything you need to do, you're not getting the solution, then you can opt out.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for the sincerity in the response. Ijoma, do you have other things to ask her?
No, I don't. I just wanted to add to what she said. I like the fact when she said, share it. If you're boxed up and you think you don't know what you need to do, open up, ask people around you. So that probably talk about mentorship. Even if you get to a position, there'll definitely be somebody that have been there before you. Come down and ask them, so that they give you a guide on how they were able to, to overcome what they faced.
It's also a lesson for any woman that find themselves in the position of leadership, not to really put so much stress on themselves, trying to overperform. That's actually what you see, how you find yourself. You want to overperform, because a lot of women have not gotten the opportunity to be in your position, so you want to show the world that you are the best. Yes, you can do that, but don't do that at the detriment of your life, or your well-being, or your health, or your status, or your value. So you need to protect all that. We are happy that you are there. We want your success, but don't do that at the detriment of your own life. That's important.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this conversation, and our viewers, I hope you did too, because we'll be rounding up now. Don't forget to put in the comment section topic you would want us to discuss every week, Friday at 11 a.m. Please join us next week again as we discuss another interesting topic still on women empowerment. Please see you. Bye.